You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. Cappy continuing on. We got a simple request. You didn't even write it. It's in the subject. $50 to do a video on Gresham's Law. I was like, why does that sound familiar? It's not for false law, economic law. And it's like, yeah, bad money drives out good. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember this thing. So let me go read through this from Investopedia. What is Gresham's Law? Gresham's Law is a principle that states pop ups should never fucking pop up. Investopedia.com, everybody. Gresham's law is a principle that states that bad money drives out good and can be applied to the currency markets. The law stemmed from the historical use. Holy fucking pop ups. The law stemmed from the historical use of precious metals to manufacture coins of their subsequent value. Since the abandonment of metallic currency standards, the theory often describes the stability and movement of different currencies in global market. Oh, God almighty. Okay, that didn't explain it to the normal. Typical fucking economists over explaining it to normal people. Sir Thomas Gresham lived from 1519 to 1579, wrote about the value of minting coins while working as a financier, and later founded the Royal Exchange of the City of London. Here, this is how it founded. When Henry VIII changed the composition of the English shilling, replacing a substantial portion of the silver with base metals, citizens separated the English shilling coins and hoarded the coins containing more silver, which were worth more than their face value. All right. And that happened in Rome. I'm sure there's other ancient places it's happened, but it's happened here in the US. Some of you are alive. You could see this today. You could see this today if you want to see Gresham's Law in action. Go look up any silver colored coin from 1963 and before. Okay, you could find them. They've been also taken out of circulation. But if you find a silver color coin, whether it's a dime, a quarter, half piece, whatever, 1963 or before, there's silver in there, depending on how far back you go. I think it's 40% silver. And what you can do, you can even test this if you want to do something fun. This bar trick will totally get you laid. Go grab some coins from 1963 or before. All right, get 2 quarters and clink them together, and then get quarters 1965, 1964, and later, and clink them together. They will make a different pitch because they're made of different metals. Some have some. The previous ones have silver in them. The newer ones do not. Even more recently than that is pre-1982 pennies. The pennies that are being minted today are mostly zinc, alloy of zinc, right? Because copper is expensive. I think the actual weight value, like the actual copper value of a penny that's made out of copper, is 3 or 4 cents right now, 3 to 4 times more value. And more recent, what people have done is not to scrap pennies. I mean, it's going to be a long waste of time, but people are starting to take the copper pennies out of circulation, leaving only the zinc ones because the copper pennies have more value. And that just makes total sense. Because like, well, wait, this, even if you're not a savvy economist or a metallurgist, right? You're not somebody who knows about precious metals. Well, wait, this has silver that don't have silver. We all know silver, gold, and to a lesser extent, copper. Well, that's got value. But if this silver dollar, it actually got silver in it, only has a face value of $1, old Morgan dollar. You go to a coin deal, you see one of them 1880s Morgan dollars, which aren't necessarily that collectible. There are some collectible ones, but you don't take it as $1 like, oh, here, my fine man, I'll have a sody pop. No, that's like $20 worth of silver in that coin. So what you do is you take the silver dollar coin, you go to a coin collector or somebody, you get 20 US modern day dollars, and then you go buy $20 worth of shit. Why? Because the precious metals maintain the purchasing power. And that's what Gresham's law is we're replacing the valuable currency that actually has intrinsic value with essentially a token that has no real metallic or precious metal value. And we're using this now to conduct our transactions. By the way, though, you could still use those silver dollars. You're like, nope, I'm keeping the coins that have the precious metal in them because, and you see it, like at one time, At one time, I think 1970, no, well, technically, go back to 1964, there was roughly a $0.25 worth of silver in a $0.25, roughly speaking. Then they come out with the crap dollars. You're like, well, I'm going to hold on to the precious metals. And if you looked at what happened to the price, the inflationary price of printed off US dollars, fiat dollars, versus the amount of silver in that quarter, it's more or less kept up with purchasing power. I mean, let's just take a look. What? Okay, hang on. Let's do it different. How much silver content in 1962 quarter? Okay, 6.25 gram. Oh, 90%. Really? All right. Uh, grams per ounce. Oh, you know what? How many ounces? How many ounces in 1962 quarter? uh, oh, here we go. Melt value of a quarter today, June 30th, 2024, $5.28. Okay. So the silver in that quarter has, I think, more than out. No, no, that didn't outpay. Yeah, a quarter. Yeah, times four, times five, that's 20. I think that's more than outpaced the rate of inflation. So you have maintained your purchasing power. And that's what money should do. Oh, by the way, for those of you who print off more money, free shit, the money should maintain its value. It doesn't have to be inflated away. That's a choice that the government does. Most governments do. Yeah, I can't believe my boomer parents bought a house for $40,000. Well, then you shouldn't have voted for the politicians to print off the more money. It, and yes, there's other factors involved, but printing off money has been one of them. And yeah, that's Gresham's law. So now for you young people out there, or for those of you with little children, I try to get my nieces. You could go to banks, just get bags of pennies, right? I want to get my nieces like, here, go through this bag of pennies, put anything 1981 and before over here, 1982 and later over here, and they're not going to do that. They want to go outside and play. But yeah, if you're going through change, you're just sitting there doing nothing. You ain't waiting on the bus. Whatever. Look through your change. If you got some quarters, anything that's silver, 63 before, save it. And then if you got pennies, anything 81 and before, save it. People, I got a wheat penny right here. Fuck you, Vince. I don't know if you can see that. Wheat penny? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I got a wheat penny, huh? And nothing. There's no more copper in that than there'd be, say, a 1985 penny. Or I'm sorry, a 1979 penny. I like wheat pennies, though. People just collected them like they were Indian head pennies. And then when the new penny came along, people just saved, they saved the old penny. Oh, I want to save the old penny. So even though there's plenty of Indian head pennies out there, a lot of people just saved them because they like the Indian head penny. It's pretty cool. And same thing with the wheat pennies. But yeah, that's Grisham's law, and it's another thing where you could see it on the international stage where you hyperinflate your currency away, and then your economy becomes dollarized. Where the U.S. dollar, even though it's a fiat currency unto itself, but we put such a facade behind it, and we don't print off 8 times our GDP every month like Zimbabwe did. People will inevitably start swapping out their shit fiat currencies for a less shit fiat currency. And so a lot of economies will become dollarized where they don't trust the government. And no, you got to trade for things. Now, that happened in Russia, like in after the Soviet collapsed, for a good 5, 10 years. Yeah, it's fine. There were rubles, but if you flashed US dollars, the taxi cab would immediately pull over. Like you could get what you wanted in dollars because they didn't know what was going to happen to the ruble. So that could kind of happen. That's more hyperinflating one currency away and then a more stable currency coming in. But the motivation for debasing, that's what they call it, debasing your coinage is because the state wants to print off more money to pay off. They just want to inflate the currency. They have debts. They want something for nothing. It's just printing off money. That's all it is. And so you might as well hold on to those. And they came up with rules and laws like you can't hoard silver or you must exchange. I remember FDR, well, I wasn't around, but FDR said you must sell your gold at $35 an ounce, I believe. You're not allowed to hold on to gold. And I would say, prove I am. Like if it comes to that, like they say, oh, we're just gonna swap out the precious metals for the cheap metals. If it's just that and they let you hold on to the real coinage, all right, cool, that's no problem. But if they say, "Oh, now you must give us your old," no, fuck you, because the government's just going to take the precious metal, sell it on the market, raise more money, and it's just stealing money. That's all it is. But government save us, cause I stupid 95 IQ college graduate and free things and puppies. I care. Why is rent so expensive? So there you go, Grisham's law. Anything here? Nothing here. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.